Every collection begins with a question. Mine began with a feeling, a sense of being suffocated inside versions of myself I had outgrown. Shadyskin is not just a fashion project, it's the emotional documentation of breaking, healing, and becoming whole again. This is the journey, from the first spark to the final runway. I began by studying the language of skin, how it cracks, stretches, and heals. I collected textures of stone, dried earth, old fabric, fractured light. These references shaped the emotional axis of the collection, being bound, distorted, cracked, breathing, peaceful, and free. I wasn't designing clothing. I was designing emotional states. In concept development, I explored how emotion becomes form. What does tension look like as pattern? What does release feel like in a silhouette? I worked through rough sketches, abstract shapes, draping studies, and digital deconstruction experiments. Each look was treated as a stage of psychological transformation, the body constantly in negotiation with itself. The color palette reflects the emotional arc. Deep browns for grounding, distorted reds for emotional tension, translucent whites for renewal. Every tone was selected to mirror a psychological state. Because this is a digital collection, fabric becomes behavior. Organza for fragility, leather for resistance, lyrics blends for subtle transformation, sheer tool for emotional exposure. The materials weren't just textures, they were symbols. Bound represents the beginning. A body held too tightly by its past. The patterns are sharp, layered, constructive. Identity starts bending. Fabrics stretch, proportions warp, form collapse. It's the chaos before clarity. The first fracture, light enters. Structure breaks just enough to let the self breathe. Soft silhouettes open a space around the body, the first moment of release. Healing as a garment. Quiet tones, soft drape, emotional calmness. Total liberation, light fabrics flow, nothing holds the body anymore. Behind the emotion is a technical system. I built every garment digitally, starting with asymmetrical patterns reflecting emotional imbalance, simulating fabric interaction, refining textures in Substance Painter, and rendering in Blender with controlled lighting. This workflow allowed the collection to evolve like an organism, layer by layer. The stage mirrors the internal journey, a dark room, the unknown, a single diagonal beam, the breakthrough, a long corridor, the path toward the self. The environment becomes part of the storytelling, not decoration, but meaning. When placed together, the six looks form a timeline, progression from resistance to freedom. Shady Skin becomes a map of emotional rebirth. This collection taught me something important. You cannot grow inside your old skin. I created Shady Skin to understand myself, and in the process, I learned to let go of what no longer served me. Whatever you're holding onto, maybe it's time to loosen the seams.